Okay, Shariz, we were discussing in the last lecture about the norms and the values. If you remember, the last topic was the globalization. Today we have to start socialization. Socialization, if you remember, we already have a discussion on that topic. Socialization is something when you interact with the pupil. You learn something, and how you learn something when you interact with the different pupils. You learn the norms and the culture, and how you will learn when you are going to interact with them. So we divide our interaction like socialization into two parts. The first one is a primary socialization, the other one is secondary socialization. The primary socialization is literally something when you born, uh, your first institution is known as your primary socialization, like a family. So initially, your first interaction is your family or your mother. You learn some values, norms from your family, from your mother, and this is known as primary socialization. While the other one is secondary socialization. Like if you remember, we have a discussion on that five institutions come into the life of any person. The first one is family, the other one religion, then society, then the politics, and the last one their current or their present if you institution. If you are working somewhere, that will be your fifth institution, and if you are a student of a particular organization, that would be your last institutions. So secondary socialization comes after the family institutions. It basically gives you the introduction of the society, connects your personal realm with the social realm by schools, media, religious, and all these stuff. So you learn your basic values and norms by the family, and this is known as the primary socialization, while other institutions known as society, your religion, your politics, media, all these stuff. Of course, you learn something from these institutions, and this is known as secondary socialization. Okay. There are different agencies of the socialization. We already have discussion that what are the agencies or the institution of the socialization. The first one is schools. Shariz, you always learn something from the schools. Whenever you interact with the school, you join the school, you learn some norms and the values from the school. And then of course the religion. Whenever you born in a society where the society is very much like religion based, doesn't matter what kind of a religion it is, but you learn something from the religion. And then the family and the peers. And what about the media? When you were a kid, you start watching cartoons, and you learn the gender role, that what is the role of male and female in the cartoons. And when you grow up in that particular age, you saw dramas, movies, and the films. You see that what kind of a message they are going to give you. Okay, you learned something, and like a gender role, that what is the role of the man, what is the role of the woman. This is the particular the message you are always get from, or you are always getting from the media. No, there is a process through which we learn social expectation. If you remember, we already have a discussions that there are the positive and the negative sanctions, and both of the sanctions have a hidden message for you. They wanted to give you some message so you can learn some kind of a values and the norms. Here are some kind of negative sanctions, and we are talking about informal sanction, not a formal sanction. The first one is manipulation. Manipulation is something, Shariz, when you silently encourage or discourage the particular behavior. For example, if we talk about the gender role, you ask a child, for example, it's a girl, you ask her that you have to play with a doll, and you ask boy that you should go for some kind of a physical activities, like you may join or you should play football or the cricket. This is something, the silent message you are, because of that message, you are going to encourage something, and you are going to discourage the behavior of a particular man. This is known as manipulation. While on the other hand, the next one is canalization. Canalization is something when you push someone into the particular behavior, or you can say your desired behavior. For example, you ask the uh, girl that what is your plan, and you must you stay at home, and you should play with the kitchen instruments, while on the other hand you ask the boy that you should go outside the home and play football and the cricket. What is the difference between both of them? Canalization is something that you push the child to your desired behavior, while manipulation is something which is related to your self-constructed belief, and you told them that this is better for you. You have some arguments on the manipulation, while canalization is something practical. You are doing some kind of a practical things. While the third one is verbal applications. Verbal application is something when you do something wrong, and at the end you get some kind of a punishment, or you are getting scolded, or getting some kind of a reprimanded. Like for example, if you are creating a mess in the room, your mother will will reprimand you, or you will get reprimanded because of that particular mess. So these are basically the informal and the negative sanctions, and all these informal sanctions is always wanted to learn you something or the norms. This is the reason of these particular negative sanctions. Are you getting my point, Sharis?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there is a debates between the nature and the nurture. There are two types of the theory, or the two types of the school of thoughts about the nature and the nurture. The first one is nature. The people who believes that everything depends on the nature, like biological inheritance. For example, eye color, hair, face structure. They said if the person is intelligent, he or she is intelligent by nature. If any person is a leader, by born he or she is a leader. Some people are born smart. They said that if we talk about the gender roles are naturally divided. For example, if we talk about the male, they are the breadwinner, while female, they have to stay at home. Everything's every behavior is naturally divided. Okay, that's why they call social behavior is a biological and biological inheritance, and it's all about the nature, and they disregard the factor of the nurture. While the people who believe on the nurture, they disregard the factor of the nature, and they said human behavior is the production of the primary and the secondary socialization. And the social behavior is, they said in the nature column, they said the social behavior is a biological, while the nurture said behavior can be controlled. For example, when a child born, if it is a girl, you ask her to stay at home, and you need to learn some kind of a kitchen responsibilities, because this is the ultimate your responsibility, and you have to handle the household when you will get married. While on the other hand, you ask the boys that you have to go for some physical activity, and you must join like military and other jobs. Well, you can't give permission to the girls. So if we eliminate such kind of a behavior and reduce such kind of an instruction on the girls and the boys, what will ultimately happen? We can control the behavior. So for example, we are socialized in the particular gender, male and the female. We shouldn't divide the role between the male and the female. If we are going to divide that this is the role of the male and this is the role of the female, this is all just happening because of the primary and the secondary socializations. So nurture all those who disregard the factor of the nature. This is a discussion between the nature and the nurture.